Presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Louis. We're going to start out today a little differently because Mr. Z has had several requests here, and we certainly want to follow those. The first one we're going to be looking at just keeps getting higher and higher, so I want to bring this up again. This is the Facebook, folks, on the daily. You can see we smashed that triple top area that we had there in late July, mid-July, late June, mid-July, and today with the market gapping up. Boy, when you see that, when you see it gapping up, I mean, you would have been buying on the opening if you had been short, for heaven's sakes, for sure. And if you wanted to buy that breakout, you know, it's already moved quite a bit. Now, if you'll notice the big ABCD going back to April, that measures to 376. We're at 372 right now, but let's take a look here at a little bit longer term view here with this, and I think it'll give us a pretty good idea of what we're looking at. Now, this is Facebook going all the way back to when it started. If you'll know, back here in 2013, you see that box there. That was the opening. We came all the way down. We dropped about 60% in price. That 61% retracement was the start of it all. And if you measure that big ABCD pattern, that measures it up to 354. And we're certainly far above that right now, but that's what we're watching. The important thing on this chart, on the weekly, folks, is you'll see around 2016, you see that line going up. That's a 382 line that connects to the low in 2020, which was also a near 78% retracement. We had that big sell-off because of the COVID, and then bada bing, bada boom, you can see where we are now. It's gone up a lot higher. So we'll cover some of these others, but I wanted to cover the ones that Mr. Z was talking about because I think they're important enough. Now, remember yesterday we were talking about the price of coffee and the fact that everybody was saying, oh, this could be the high in coffee. Well, boys and girls, you might have seen it today. Let's just get this up here and take a look at it because we have had what we call a flat-out big move up. Let's just get this up here so you can see it. This is a heck of a move. I think Starbucks must have bought every cup. Look at this, folks. So we left a gap here at the 175 level. We missed that ABCD to the downside. It didn't quite get there. The ABCD completed, but the 50% didn't and only got to the 382. But we got all the way up to 210 today, folks. Remember, we were trading at 210. We were trading at 195, and we went to 210. And if we look at this on the weekly chart, this is a huge chart, folks. Let's get this up here to take a look at it. One of the reasons why I don't trade this stuff. Take a look at it here. There you go. There's what you're looking at right there. You've made just a little above the 78% level, but you didn't stay above that very long. Let's just double check. Just go to a 5-minute chart and see how long it stayed. Well, it actually stayed there pretty good, actually. Let's get this up here and take a look at it above the 210 level. Get up here to take a look at it. So, but it's backing off just a little bit now. But that's some type of high made in coffee today, folks, because we already retraced 20 cents, and that's a big move. That's a 10% move in coffee in a matter of about 2 hours. So that certainly means something really big happened to that. So those are a few things that we're paying very, very close attention to here. Now, let's move on to a couple other things that I think are relatively important. I'm going to cover them. Norm Winski will be our break. I have an announcement on Monday. Stan Harley will be a double show for me. He's going to be doing my show at 12:30, and he's going to be doing Tommy O'Brien's show that I'll be hosting at 12:30. So we'll have Stan Harley on twice. I wanted to bring up the FTSE here. They are really barbecuing Mr. Boris Johnson over there, and you can see here this is a 135 pattern that we're seeing in the FTSE here. And believe me, they no longer call the UK the United Kingdom. It's called the United Pinkdom, and that's because all of these telephones are hooked up to this COVID stuff. And if you're anywhere near somebody that's got it, your phone pings and you're automatically quarantined. And if you don't follow that quarantine, folks, you go to jail for 1 year. they're really looking at it. Sugar is looking good, Ruby. She's coming back pretty good. Let me cover these other things. Let me cover these other things because they're stock related, and then we'll do the others here. What we're watching here. But let's take a look here at. I've got to cover hogs too, but gosh, darn, there's so much to cover. Let's start out with the Nasdaq. Okay, here's where we were in the Nasdaq the other day, and I was pointing out to you the fact that how these algo traders, do their stuff and things like that. I just want to follow through and show you today how that really affects the markets, because if you know what to look for, it's a big help. Now look at this. Look at this Nasdaq. Since 3 days ago, it's made 382 retracements. This 1, 2, 3. That's the third one this morning. Pulled right back after it made a new high up there, a beautiful ABCD. It dropped from 150.10 all the way down to, it dropped 70 handles, and then bada bing, bada boom, we go up and we make a 1.27 expansion. So that's why we're looking at that so very, very closely. Now on the other side of the coin, look what happened. And you have to look at this chart later because I don't have time to update it. But look at the Russell, folks. We made the 78% retracement of the high on July the 10th yesterday. And today we were having a little bit of a rally here. And then the market just totally broke down to 21.7. It's bounced back a little bit, but it was actually going down when the S&P was going straight up and the Dow Jones was going straight up. So these are different markets, as Basil would say. These puppies is bifurcated, and boy, they certainly are. Now, before we get to the sugar, we want to talk a little bit about the piggies, because remember, yesterday we were talking about the piggies, and we had a really nice profit in it, and the first objective had been made, and of course the market, it matched the last swing down 2 full points. But look what's happened today, folks. We're doing the same thing now in the piggies, and the reason why I'm bringing this up to you is the fact that you have to decide here whether you're going to re-enter that position or pass and do it. It's only made a higher high by about 10 or 15 cents. It's about $40 the last time I talked. So the way I would do this is I would have re-entered the trade as we matched that top up there at 92.80. I got an interesting Skype today from one of our traders down in Houston, Texas, and he has done so well this week that he didn't even want to trade today. And I said, you have answered your own question. If you feel that way, that's exactly what you should do. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. He said he had I saw him do it. He had 4 fantastic days. And the reason how I know it, folks, he took every trade that he was supposed to take, and he didn't take any of the losers. He took losers along the way. We'll have to see here. It's at 93.38 now. See, that would have been a loser, Bo. Yep, that's exactly right. I would have been out of that one. Once it went above 93.10, I would have said goodbye, because if it didn't do it, and I'm not in the hogs, I'm just forwarding that out to you. Now we've got a little break here coming. We've got a break coming. When we get back, I'm going to bring up the chart for Ruby on sugar. We want to cover that, and we got to cover one of them that's really important, folks. It may not mean much today, but we'll watch it closely here. I've got to talk about open interest. I just got a lot of things going on and try to get this information to you. We'll see if it happens. 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500-plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks. We posted a chart for Ruby on sugar. That's the daily chart. Remember that 1840 level is the 61% retracement on the monthly, so we really need sugar to get above 19 in order for it to be a breakout. So far, that is not a breakout. We need to get it above 19 cents. You can see what happened to coffee, folks. It went from this last week, it went from 150 to 210. That's a 60-cent move. Forget about your coffee at Starbucks. You're going to have your title to your car. Now, we need to talk just a tiny bit about one of Mr. Z's favorites, and that is the natural gas. And we'll bring this up here. Take a look at this now. This is the weekly, folks. We're still looking. We're at 404 now. And I believe once we cleared 404, that was a sign that thing was very, very bullish. So the ABCD measures to 411, and the 78% level measures in at 419. So you want to be watching 419 because Einstein said it was numbers before patterns. So you want to go with the Fibonacci number of 786 and not the ABCD pattern, because Einstein said patterns before geometry, mathematics before geometry. So that's, well, that was his opinion, of course, and he was a pretty smart dude. All right, let's move on to a couple others that I think we need to address ourselves to. And one of them, folks, is this one right here. This is we've been talking about this thing with the open interest for quite some time now. And the open interest in the S&P yesterday was quite, it was nice. It was I think 15,000 out of 2.4 million. But our highest open interest was back in late June, early July, when we had 3.2 open interest. And now we're only at 2.5, I believe, open interest. But yesterday was strong, and we've had these, tremendous moves where there's virtually been no selling. However, there has been selling, folks, because for every buyer, there has to be a seller. So you have to ask yourself, who's on the other side of that trade? And I'll tell you one thing, it's probably not a little guy. It certainly isn't me, because, once we had that big move above that 4309, that was telling us that, wow, we're 100 points higher. By the way, on Bloomberg today, one of the folks that does esoteric technology had just announced that the Dow Jones hitting 35,000 has just broken above the triple top on the Dow, which when it was called the Atlantean Index back at 4,400 BC. Can you believe that? And that's what the S&P hit today, 4,400. Boy, there just can't be any a coincidence in that. Holy cow. That'll be on Aliens tomorrow. What's the name of that show? Ancient Aliens. It'll be on Ancient Aliens in 2 weeks. It hit that same number. Okay, let's move on to one other that we need to talk about. And to me, folks, this is very, very important. And I'll give you the skinny behind it. This is the price of Dr. Copper. And here we are, folks. We took out the high of July today by a penny. 1 penny, and we immediately reversed 6 cents. I don't know where it is right now, but the fact that it hit that 382 is, in our books, very, very important. And why do we think that? If we go back and look at the bond-olies, remember we talked about this. This is the gift that keeps on giving. You'll notice here, this is where we were yesterday, right at a 382. We went down today and matched the lows down there at 163.14. So when you see those, pay attention to them, folks, because they're really good entry points for low-risk entry. And they work in a lot of different things. Here's one. Last night, because I was up doing a lot of work, I happened to be watching the soybeans. This is just a November beans. And look, there's that same pattern that we're just seeing in copper and bonds. A 382 retracement, ABCD, virtually no risk, and it drops from 30.60 all the way down. It drops $1,200 with a risk of about $300 or less than $300, probably $200. So that's the kind that you want to watch, because you're trading with the trend, and you've got a really good chance of profit of better than 2 or 3 to 1. So those are the ones that you really want to, sort of hang your hat on. But watch that copper, folks. I haven't checked the last price of copper with the stock market going crazy. The last price I saw was around 435. The sale was at 438. Would one of you nice gentlemen give me the last price of the copper, please? I would certainly like to hear what it is. And then we'll double check and see if, because it may be making new highs now, and we could throw some lettuce on the old cowboy and we could feed the turtle. It's 438.35, so it went right back to that old high again after coming back. So we're right on there. Thank you very much. That's the number. The 438 was a sale. It went all the way down, I think, to 434, which was $1,000. And now it's back up again. So that's a really important number where we're setting there today. At the number is, I believe, 439 or 440 is the exact 382 retracement of that one. So it's going to be interesting to see if it unfolds. And we've melted up, folks, and we could keep going and going and going. I don't know where the thing is going to be. We're breaking a lot of. Look what Facebook did today. I mean, pretty soon it'll be Apple. Maybe the next one, Google. They'll just going. We're in a melt up. All I know, boys and girls, is this. When this one's over, you be very, very careful, because that's the one that's going to be tough, because they're ignoring stuff like this. And this stuff used to be, back in the day, what I was doing things. This is what was important. Money. So you followed the money, and these folks are heavily, heavily, heavily leveraged. And why shouldn't they be? The market breaks 900 points on Monday and takes, 1,100 points back to you on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you've got to respect it. You can't stand in the front of it. I mean, it's what amazes to me is how the Russell can be so doggone weak. That's the one that is just totally amazing to me, that it could be so weak. Now, I was watching the S&P here earlier this morning, just on a simple ABCD pattern here, and I didn't want to stand in this because of these wide bars, but let's get this up here to take a look at it. You'll notice here that we had this big move up here where I'm just going the last 3 or 4 days. You can see the ABCD measured to 43.94. We got to 4,400 even, and I don't know what it's done since that time, but we'll be able to. Now, from what Shane has told me, he said the Fed's not really in here doing very much, so it's got to be people in there buying. My guess is it's Robin Hood and Little John and Maid Marian. That's who I think it could be. I don't know. It's certainly, I don't know. It's surprising to me, but I don't know. We'll wait. All I know is when they go up like this, they come down like this. That's one thing that Isaac Newton has told us, and he's been right all along. So we'll just be patient and wait. Have to give the Elliott Wave people credit. They said that there could be a top, but it could also go a lot higher, and it certainly has done that. So our hats should be off to them, and they did a very good job at that. So that's it. So we'll see how these things end up here. We have Norm Winski at the break. As I mentioned before, we will have Stan Harley twice next week, once at 12:30 and then again at 3:30. I'll be doing Tom's show from that thing. We had such a storm here in the desert last night, folks. We thought we were going to have to go on the roof to get away from the water. There was so much rain coming down, but fortunately it drained off and we're back to normal and everything's good. So not a problem here. If you have any questions, 877-927-6648, and we'll be happy to answer them for you if we can. So we've got Norm coming up at the break, and we'll be moving on to the next. Thank you, Marshall, I'll send you the $20, Marshall, or I'll take you to Guadalajara the next time you're in town.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I believe we have Norm Winski of Astrotrends on the line today. Norm, how you doing?
Great, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
Our pleasure, my friend. Why don't you tell the folks what you've got for us today?
Okay, well, I was last on your show on the 9th of July, and so I thought we can maybe learn something. Thought we'd go over what I forecasted back then. Speaking of forecasting, We got a question about forecasting. Somebody wanted to know, why don't I forecast 2 weeks in advance and so forth? And it's simple. There's no advantage to that. Matter of fact, I think it's a disadvantage in that you might get married to a certain scenario. And guess what, Larry? Nothing works 100% of the time. And so if a potential change in trend window turns out to be a high when you were looking for a low, then your brain's all messed up because you were expecting, you're married to that scenario. So that's why I don't do that. You want to be a forecasting whiz, genius or something, then you might do that. It's an ego trip, but this is all about making money. So there you go. That's my answer to that. So
that's a good answer.
All we got to do, the one thing about the Astro stuff is this is one of the few things, I don't know if there's any other methodology out there, that it actually has somewhat of a leading indicator. It tells you in advance. All you got to do is show up and look at the market a little bit ahead of what our change in trend window is. And if the market's going up, we'll be looking to sell. If the market's going down, we'll be looking to buy. And it tends to reverse these markets about 75% of the time. So that's real simple. Okay. So now I'm going to review what we did last time. What I said last time. Okay, we had on the 9th of the AC is after the close. Most of the stuff, because the normal regular folks that trade during the day session, that's only a fourth of the day. It's only about 6 hours out of 24. So the planets, they're working 24/7. They don't clock out. So most of the stuff they do happens overnight. So AC is after the close. That means it happened overnight. And so we'll be looking at the next day's opening or AM to see what the market might change there, So here we have the Moon's North Node. If you want to know if I say anything technical here you don't know about, call me. I'll explain it. You get a free class. So here's the Moon's North Node lined up with the U.S. Uranus. That's where Uranus was on the 4th of July in 1776. Our founding fathers were astrologers and planned the start of our country. So there you go. But the odd thing here is this worked, as you will see in a minute. And the founding fathers didn't know about Uranus in 1776. It wasn't discovered till 1781. So there we go. That's called the natal chart of the U.S. That's what that's called. So anyway, anytime we have something to the U.S. natal chart, we look for a change in trend in U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. Then we have the night of the 9th. That was the weekend. We had a new moon in Cancer. And as we always do, round up the usual suspects. We got your financials, your grains, your precious metals, and because it was in the sign of Cancer, that's silver. Okay, that doesn't guarantee that we're going to have a good opportunity there, but we have to pay attention to what the plants are telling us, and so we have to look at that's what we look at. Then we had Jupiter to the U.S. Uranus again. U.S. stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. Man, now it's time for me to apologize to your folks, Larry, because I made a mistake the last time I was on. Hopefully, you'll have me back on again someday. And anyway, I told you that Mars was aphelion over the 9th weekend, and that was wrong. I recorded it wrong. And I afterwards, that night or over the weekend, I discovered that, and I sent an alert I couldn't contact your people. So I don't know how to get a hold of them, but if they had called me, I would have told them. But I updated this over that weekend that Mars, oh my gosh, Mars was aphelion. That's when Mars is at its farthest point in its 2-year cycle around the sun. That was Monday night. Okay, so, but I'm going to adhere to what I said. I'm going to eat my mistake here. And so when I go to score these, show you the pluses and the minuses, I'm going to go with that one. But just keep it. I also marked on the chart, though. We can just, for fun, look at what happened Monday night. Then on the afternoon of the 13th, we had moon to the U.S. We had a point to the U.S. natal chart again. That's your U.S. stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And here was a really big one. Friday the 16th, that weekend of the 16th, we had Mercury. This is one of my top things, one of the planets get to 0 latitude. As the planets go around the sun, they go around the sun like horses on a carousel. They go round and round, and they also go up and down. And when they get to that midpoint of the up and down, that's 0 latitude, and that tends to be a very powerful point. And I should reiterate that all these points apply to the stock market because it's the big basket of everything, whereas all these commodities tend to be narrow filters and respond to certain specific things. So now let's look at you might want to take a screenshot of this so it'll be easier to follow along at home. Okay, 1, 2, 3, give you a chance to do the screenshot. Hopefully you got it. Okay, or you can always replay the video. And here's the corn. So here we had corn. We had corn for the moon. And I told you that Mars Happy Healing was that weekend. So that's where we're going to stick to. In this case, it actually worked in my favor. The blue arrow is where it should have been, and that would have been a loser. So actually, I lucked out there, you might say. So there we go. And then so that was low on corn, basically. Well, we didn't get, there was the lowest low. It was on Friday night, and if you bought it on the opening Monday, you were very close to the bottom, and then up and away. And then guess where? There's the top there with Mercury at 0 latitude, because Mercury is the grains, you know. And you had a little one-day pullback there. You had a chance to make some small money there on the corn. Here's your beans in a wedgie formation going into the moon there. And if you weren't sure about what to do, draw a line across the tops of those, the wedge, and you break out, then you're on board, and there you go. It broke out right on the opening of that Monday, right after the moon. And then it was up and away. And guess what the high is? Right on Mercury. That's actually the high of July. That high is back in June, I think, or the 1st of July. And my July, those started after the 4th. Anyway, so there you go. There's a nice high there on the beans, right on the Mercury point, you see. All right, so there's your wheat. Wheat was beautiful. It bottomed on the moon. And then it was one day early on the top, on the Mercury point, and then it went down. Okay, if a market goes sideways, we don't do anything. It's Newton's law for every action, opposite equal reaction. By the way, Mr. Newton was an astrologer, and there you go. And so if it's going sideways, I don't do anything. The opposite sideways is more sideways. It's a mirror image, and that means more of the same. You don't know what to do there, so we do nothing. There you go. We had 2 points for the. Oh, okay.
We have to pay a few bills, remember. Stay with us. Norm Winski of Astrotrends. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hey, Norm, we got a question from one of our favorite people. Mr. ZM is asking, why wouldn't the July 13th moon position be significant for grains and currencies, like the new moon signal earlier in the month?
Do that again?
The question is, why wouldn't the July 13th moon position be significant for grains and currencies, like the new moon signal?
Why is July 13th important for the moon? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what his question was. I'm just repeating to what he said.
The new moon was over the weekend of the 9th.
Okay, well, then we'll have to give Mr. Z a... Well, this is not Mr. Z. This is ZM. But I'll check it with him. But you go ahead, continue, Norm. Go ahead.
He can contact me, and I'll be happy to talk to him.
Okay.
You can call me. You can email me. You can send me a postcard, whatever. All right. Okay. We were talking about when we went to the break. We were talking about sideways, and just in contrast, look at the wheat is a pretty good model of what we're looking for. Down, down, down into our window of the new moon. And then up, up, up into our Mercury point, and you see, and we're looking for an extreme market to get overbought, oversold is the ideal, and the bigger the extreme, the better. In contrast, gold was going sideways. There's Mars. Maybe he's thinking of Mars aphelion. That I made a mistake on that. I said it was all the weekend there, and it was actually over here, and it would have applied to gold, except gold market didn't want to play. So there you go. We're going sideways. Okay. There's silver going sideways into the moon, so we do nothing. And here's your S&P. And we had the U.S. point on the night of the 7th. And there you had a chance to buy there near a nice low. And then up, up, up. And because I told you Mars aphelion was over the 9th, and I get to eat that mistake. And then we have 3 marks there. We were about a day too early, because the high was really actually on the opening of the 14th. So I have to be right within 1 day, or I mark it wrong with the red arrow, the dreaded red arrow. There you go. So you got 3 marks against me there. There's where Mars aphelion should have been, that blue arrow. And you can see that was close to the top there, you see. So that would have been good. So I gained 1 on the corn. I lost 1 on the S&P. It all turned out to be a wash. So there you go. So that we went. So anyway, so next time in 2 years from now, when Mars aphelion again, if we get at that same, if we're near a high, watch out, because we had a big down here, 160 handles from the high down to that low, and guess what that was? That was Mercury 0 latitude. But you know what? I had to mark it wrong, because if you bought on the opening, you would have had a heck of a drawdown there. That was 70 handles to the bottom from the opening, So that's unacceptable risk. So I had to mark that, even though we had the right day for the low, we had a bad entry. So there we go. So we like to be able to buy near the low and sell near the high. So There you go. There's your S&P. Let's move ahead. Here's your T-bonds. They're much friendlier. We had the high there on the 7th, night of the 7th. And then we had the 2 points for the moon and another U.S. point over the 9th weekend. And then we had our another U.S. Oh, that was something over the T-bond. Let me look at my thing here. Oh, yeah. We had another U.S. point over the weekend, over the night of the 12th. Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. The afternoon of the 13th, we had a U.S. point, and that was a nice low there, and then up and away. Here's the U.S. dollar on the moon, making a low on the moon. Here, we're in currency land now. Aussie dollar making a high on the moon. Currencies often dance to the moon. There's the British pound making a high on the moon. Hey, and Larry, we don't have to do any moving averages, no oscillators, don't have to count any waves, don't have to do any of that. This is simple, right? Mm-hmm. So there we go. Don't pay attention to any news. We don't care about the government, any government agencies, don't care about the Fed. You don't have to look at any of that stuff. And all that stuff, those are all lagging indicators. You want to be late in the market? That's the way to go. I don't want to be late. I want to know what's going on in advance. So there you go. So here's the Canadian dollar making a high there. Here's the euro, even nicer. That was nice, pretty clear, rallying up right into the moon and made a top and then went down. Here's our only miss on the currencies, the yen. Okay, and then there's the Swiss franc going up, and that made a top. So it was on the currency, 6 out of 7 winners. All right, so overall, add up all the green arrows and red arrows. We had 19 winners, 5 misses out of 24 for a 79.17% winners. That's pretty good. Now, here's what's coming up, and why I asked to come on your show now, Larry. This weekend, we have Mercury perihelion. That means Mercury will be, that's from the Greek. Helios is sun in Greek, and pera, it means close. So Mercury in its 88-day cycle around the sun will be at its closest point this weekend. And Larry, what happens when Mercury's doing something right on top of a moon? That can be very powerful. I'm sure you remember May of 2015. What happened there? We had Mercury turning retrograde on a new moon. That was the high of the year. Not saying this will be the high of the year, but there we go. I think we're going to probably get a short-term top here on Monday. So we got Mercury perihelion. That's your of course, your stocks, corn, soybeans, wheat, your grains, and then the full moon in Aquarius. You were talking about copper earlier there, Larry. Aquarius is copper plus your usual suspects, financials, grains, precious metals. And then the night of the 27th, that'll be Tuesday night, Jupiter will be, which is now retrograde, going backwards, retrograde out of the sign Pisces and into Aquarius. And that's going to be making angles to signs for these different signs: cocoa, copper, hogs, oil, silver, soybeans, T-bonds. So you want to look at those markets for possible extremes. If they're going sideways, do nothing. And the night of the 29th, that'll be Thursday night next week, we have geocentric from the point of view of the Earth, Mars entering Virgo, and that is soybeans. So here's the charts that I haven't seen before. We haven't shown up. All my charts are as of last night, and these charts don't really matter right now because they're several days out in the future when you want to look at them. But right now, as you pointed out, Larry, copper has rallied. This as of last night. If it were to continue to move up into our window, then it would be looking for a high. If it goes down into the window, we'll be looking for a low. Here's cocoa. That's what cocoa looks like right now. But again, these are all for next week, like Tuesday night, Wednesday's opening. Okay. Now, how to get a hold of Norm? There we go. Here's my contact information. I'm looking forward to helping some folks. I have 3 avenues of learning. I have these. What I just showed you is out of my swing trading letter. I have a day trading service for day trading the S&P E-mini, and we time that down to the minute. And you can also learn astrology, and then you can be like W.D. Gann, who was an astrologer, or Sir Isaac Newton. All these smart guys were astrologers. And there we go. Here, you can contact me at 239-594-3939 and Winski Empire. Oh, I guess we'll be back one more.
Thank you. We'll talk to you later, Norm. Thanks you for joining us.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the wicked stepsister. Those of you that are long the market and happen to be in the Russell, you can see that it's still in a downtrend. Look at how it broke today when the Dow moved up 200 points. I mean, it shows you the indexing is really very, very powerful in here. You got to watch what these algo people are doing. Now, this may be a market that's turning up, and if this thing melts up, maybe it'll go higher, but, it's been weaker. You want to always buy the strongest, sell the weakest. So that was one smart thing that we did do. We had a nice profit in the Russell. We got stopped out of that on Tuesday morning. And in fact, it's actually below where we got stopped out, even though the Dow is another 300 points higher and the S&P is 50 handles higher. I've never seen anything like that, but when you live long enough, you're going to see everything. So we'll see. Now, I do want to bring one other chart to your attention for the 24/7 folks, because we have to get ready and get our orders ready, because we're getting very, very close to what I think is going to be a very important buy signal here in soybeans and corn here coming up this beginning of the week here. towards the end of July here, because August, of course, is the most critical month for the soybeans, and we want to watch these November beans because they're in a downtrend right now. You can see the lower highs, but we still have a possibility. Hey, if they can take coffee from 150 to 210, they can take beans from 13 to 15. So we'll wait and see how that does. But we've got a nice pattern setting up in that. And also I've had several questions about the euro. It's not there yet, folks, but it's getting there. We just keeps drifting a little bit lower each day. We like to see the washout coming and get ready for that, but that won't be ready until probably either after this thing that's going on astrologically with the new moon, or excuse me, the full moon and the perihelion of Mercury. That's a big deal. So we'll see. Possibly on Monday we might be a buyer, maybe even Sunday night we might even be buyer of the euro if it fulfills the obligations of making these price patterns complete. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Building wealth trading in the stock